What's up, my pilots? We are back playing Black and White. And I didn't do anything off screen. Nothing really happened. I think I built a few more houses, but I didn't ever really get around to training my creature very much, so we'll be doing that in the next world. One last look at our tribute menu. You can see we've got everything that there is to make money from.
Sure you wish to leave the land?
And so we are going to leave.
Again to confirm.
Yes, I've clicked 3 times now. I like how his little mist hangs around even as the screen goes black. It's neat looking. And into the portal we go to the next land. And someone asked me this in the comments of the previous video. You cannot go back to an island, a land, they're called, after you leave it. So we'll never be able to return to that town. And the things that we did there don't really matter, besides the fact that we get to take with us our creature and our goodness or evilness percentage. We don't get a bonus of more villagers at the next town if there are a lot more in that town than otherwise. It doesn't make a difference. Here it is, the Northland.
I'm certain they'll join us against the Aztec hordes, and they have a creature too.
We need to build a town here, though. We need the tribe to grow. First, let's look at the Norse. Hey, seems they have a leader.
Concentrate, and your godly powers will often let you hear his thoughts.
What? Greeks on my homeland? But I saw them all die at the hands of the Aztecs.
What? You were there and you didn't do anything to help, you asshole?
Leader, if we build up an impressive enough town, these Norse will flock to join us.
Flock!
Or, if we build a big army, we can hunt them down and put them to the sword.
Ah, the choice. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours. Man, if you know a game that's from, you're pretty cool. Cooler than most people. So the first thing I'm going to do when I get to a new town is I'll take up about half the villagers that I'm given and make them into breeders. Men and women alike. I think that you're given an even number of men and women.
Come along, leader. We need to start building.
I know.
We should start making houses.
So, I'm going to take things really slowly. This is a very easy land. We'll zoom out a little bit. You can see they give you quite a lot of space to build your town. Honestly, you could win the whole land just by building behind these 2 walls they already give you. You may notice that there's actually a hole in this wall.
Ah, yes, walls. These are vital to the defense of your city. We need to build this wall to ensure the Norse can't invade.
Click the action button on the turret once, drag and then click to place it.
So basically you grab one of these towers and you drag it over to the other tower, and that's essentially all there is to it. It's very easy.
I do enjoy the safe, warm feeling of a wall.
Don't you?
It's like a big stone nappy.
Look at them all go to work on it. Quite a number of them, I think, are actually moving to go build the wall. I don't know where they're going to try to get resources for that, but yeah, essentially, I'm actually going to build that myself. This is an ore rock I just picked up, so I'm just going to build the wall with God building. Why not?
Well done, oh astonishing one.
Oh.
You built a wall, and we're protected against the Norse.
Yeah.
If you need a reminder of what your objectives are, go to the objectives part of the menu.
Now, those of you who...
These crafty Greeks are building walls, and so they should. Send a troop to their city walls.
Those of you who play like StarCraft or something like that are probably looking at me like, what the heck is he doing? Why isn't he building a town already? But it's taking him so long. Well, honestly, this land is very easy. There's no rush to start when you're starting out. Basically, just build a town however you like. You could do just something almost completely random and still be quite successful on this land. It's that easy. This is basically your warm-up. We had a warm-up world, and basically we had a tutorial world, and now we sort of have a warm-up match. So, in general, I build my towns in sort of a circular fashion. So I'll go out around the world like this. And that tree's in the way. I'm going to replant it over there. And a little bit wider than that. There we go, like this. And we'll circle around in much the same fashion. All around the way. I'm not going to do this third one. Well, actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and do this third one up here. That's handy. And I'm just kind of moving, not really doing things in a particularly special way. I'm going to put a storehouse. I'm going to try to get it as close to this corner as I can, so let's swing it in like that. There we go. And
Look, the people have remembered all about altars.
have they now?
Altars are where you can focus your godly miracles.
Okay,
Let's build one as soon as possible.
yeah, let's put it right back here. We'll grab that tree.
Such power can be wielded with an altar.
So for one of the first things you need is a field. I'm going to build a field to fill in the area by my storehouse here. And you hit the F key to bring up your fertility map. Actually, for me, it's holding it down. So the green areas are fertile, and the red areas, you can't build a farm at all. Areas in between are just general usage. You see we got some Norse out there, but they're not going to be able to get past this wall. It's just a platoon of swordsmen, so they're pretty useless when there's a wall in the way. So let's see, what else do we want to build? They're going to want a temple. You'd like to have temples. Can I get one of those, please? Thank you. I'm going to build it right here on the main plaza.
Yes, a temple adds a lot of impressiveness to your town.
Let them build! We will just have more to destroy!
If that's how you want to look at it, okay.
When the Greeks are exterminated, the Aztecs will rule this world.
You may notice that I'm not harvesting trees yet. I'm going to let my people do that on their own. I'm not going to create any foresters yet, because there's an objective in this world to remove and essentially cut down every single tree in the land, and it is one of the most pain-in-the-ass objectives in the whole game. I'll get there. I just saw you turn green. Don't play with me. There. Okay, good. See if I can't get a road back in here. I could just stick a house in there, but having it on a road gives us a bonus, you know, in our impressiveness, so the closer I can get. There we go. That's good enough. So now this sector has become housing, and I'm going to build all my houses out here. As we expand, there'll be more and more houses out in this zone, and it'll always be between these two streets here. That's just how I feel like doing it. Between these two streets, we're going to have all the farms and things over here. And as I go out, there'll be more of these cross-sectional roads. So basically the next circle is going to be out here somewhere. And I'm going to swing around like this. So this area I could go ahead and fill with another farm if I wanted to do so. And I think I won't. I'm going to put industrial buildings back over here. And I'm going to build impressive things on this top part, because that's actually a requirement of the land. There's a number of things that we can do to make some money in this land, and I'm going to show off all the ones I can. The first one is that a creature needs to kill 2 platoons. I suppose that this is a good place to start. Let's talk about walls. We were given walls in this land for free. You don't have to purchase them from the tribute menu, but you don't have them prior to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually... sending him to run all the way around would be too much of work. I'm going to see if I can get him to come over here to the wall and fight these soldiers. Just because we haven't done a whole lot with him yet, and I want him to know he's supposed to defend the town.
Northland. No intruders must be allowed.
Okay, now next time they move out from away from our gate, I'm going to open it, let him out, and he's basically just going to stomp on them. Go, get out there, fight him. Once he's outside, I close the gate so that the soldiers can't get in. Notice I put him in the soldier role for this. And I'm just going to let him stomp and smash however he likes on those guys. Once I've assigned him to attack them, he'll pretty much continue doing that until they're dead. Oh, good one! Kicked them all into the wall.
News of Norse victory, not this.
Nice work. You can come back inside now. We're going to want him to be a... whoops, no, I want the leash menu. Come back. I'm not taking very good care of my town, am I? Yes, you can. The gate's open. Thank you. Okay, what am my people screaming for? Oh, food, right, they're starving to death. Let's put some food in the storehouse. They'll probably eat it right away. So I'm going to go ahead and put another farm right here. Nice big one. Bam! That'll take care of them for a long time, actually. You see? You can hover over a farm and it'll tell you it provides enough food for 67 people. It's pretty good, actually. It's a good start. Alright, they want an armory. I suppose if they really want one, it's okay with me. I'll put it right here.
I thought these Greeks were a peaceful race. I must watch closely.
I'm also going to construct, or at least put down... I'm going to put down the floor plan for... Oh wait, we haven't purchased it yet, have we? Let's go get that. A ranged armory. Go through our menu, our tribute menu. We can purchase new things. Let's find the ranged armory. Here we go. 40,000 for the ability to have archers. I'm always going to buy that. That's just undyingly useful. So I know I can fit it in there.
How can the Aztecs rule this godless world while the Greeks still exist?
Oh, what do you mean it doesn't fit right there? There's no way it doesn't fit. That's silly. Come on. It so obviously fits in that space. That's a joke that it won't let me build it right there. Let me try forcing it to turn a certain way. See if I can... That's irritating. You know what? No, I'm gonna do this. Get off my hand. Get out of my hand. There we go. What's that? The K key? To bring up my destruction? Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that one. And just... What, does it not fit in between those two streets or something? That's really strange. Get rid of that little thing there. I'm nitpicking now, but there we go. Now that I got it to fit, this other one should be easy.
Archers. I love ranged weapons with a passion.
How does it not fit? Oh, I just saw a green one. How did it... Where did that go? I don't care if it's floating somewhere in the middle as long as it... Ah, there. Right there. Perfect. Good enough for me.
Oh, yes. Armories turn weedy men into warriors of iron.
Warriors of iron. So what I'm going to do now is make sure that we have plenty of trees around our influence area. You'll notice that there happened to be a small tree that I placed out here earlier in the video. It was sitting on this house. I placed it out here, and now it has two other trees next to it. They're essentially propagating forests. And so I'm going to grab trees and spread them out in the area where we start our town. Any tree that I can grab, I'm just going to stick it somewhere where it has elbow room, somewhere where it has personal space, and it will propagate other trees near it. Let's go ahead and look at some things that we can do to make money with the creature. Villagers have requirements to collect ore and food, and they'll pick those up as we just live. They actually have a requirement for all three, but the creature has a requirement to build 12 houses, and that is something that you have to usually get the leash on him to get him to want to do. So you put him in builder mode. He'll put the wood into a house.
Leader, you have built an altar.
I have. The villagers have.
Who do these Greeks think they are?
Oh, watch him now. He's building the house. Good stuff. I like the roar, too. So the way that you get him to build houses is you basically tell him to go get a tree. So it'll say pick up this tree right there. There we go. And I'll say, right here, give to this house. And he'll put it into the house so that the wood is part of the house, is materials. And you click again to tell him to build it. And, like I say, he usually very slowly responds to what you're doing. He'll start to do it. That's all there is to it. I'm going to leave him in the builder role, and he'll hopefully run around and build some of those houses on his own. See how big the influence ring bulge for the altar was? I'm going to drop some wood into the storehouse because my people are asking for it. And they're still asking for food, too. So I'm going to take people who aren't farmers and make them farmers, because we need to have disciple farmers to...
I must find out what they are doing.
You find that people who don't have jobs, sometimes will just go and stare at the creature. Yeah, that's a waste of time. Make them farmers.
Prepare a force to destroy these Greek troops.
The creature's just hanging out. He's sleeping. Okay, whatever. I'll put him back in free will mode. We'll get the housing requirement done eventually, but like I say, I'm going to be working on that one in the background. Now they want ore. Well, you can appease them if you like by grabbing some ore rocks from nearby and just sticking them into the storehouse. Or if you want a more long-term solution, grab a couple people up and make 5 or 6 mine workers. You don't need to have very many. There's a mine here just south of the town.
Mine workers.
They will pretty much handle that. It's not a big miner.
The hatred for the Greeks that our Aztec masters have.
There's not a big ore requirement in the way that I play the game, so it's essentially just wood. A lot of wood. I tend to actually make buildings that don't require any ore to build are usually fairly cheap because wood is a renewable resource, whereas the ore that you get from mines is most certainly not. In fact, it's the only non-renewable resource in the game besides money. So you can grow as much food as you like, given enough time, and you can grow as many trees as you like if you have the time. But your ability to have...
They wish to wage war against me? So be it.
But your ability to have both ore and gold is limited.
For ranged attacks. They have archers now.
Let's go ahead and talk about the altar.
Altars work on a power called mana. You can generate mana by creating worshippers. Go on, create a worshipper. Show us you can do it.
Show us you can do it. Do not tempt me.
Disciple
That was hard.
worshipper.
Now that we have a worshipper, the altar will generate mana. Of course, more worshippers mean more mana.
Remember, miracles cost mana, and you need worshippers to generate mana. Simple. And get this, you can drop people straight into the altar to create mana too. You won't ever see them again though.
Oh, yes, you can also use your tribute to buy miracles. Miracles are a very powerful force, which can be used for good or for...
senseless, mindless, and glorious evil.
Oh, you know it.
This altar already has a water miracle. Try it on that field over there. Grab the miracle and just drop it on the field
So this is a
to
water.
water it.
This is a water miracle here.
Watering? I was hoping for something more, well, fiery. Still, give it a try, boss.
So you see, they give us one for free, right on the field.
Just a water miracle. Well done, great one.
Makes the farm grow food faster. Got 5,000 tribute for doing something with that. Anyway, I'm going to take my creature and continue working on the housing thing, because while there's still houses to build, it's the best time to do it. Well, don't throw anything. No, just drop it. I don't care where. I don't know what he has. But I'll be working on that, building these buildings that I've already started. No new construction will go on until you see it. I'm just going to try to get the housing requirement done for my creature. We're approaching the conclusion of my creature's building requirement. What I'm doing is just throwing down more and more houses until he finishes it up. He's got a couple houses left. I figured I'd go ahead and start talking again because I wanted to tell you about listening to the enemy leader, which essentially the only advantage it gives you is it sometimes tells you when they're going to attack. Other times it'll tip you off to their strategy as to whether they're a city builder or an army kind of guy. Although some of the time your conscience will actually tell you what the enemy tends towards as you're starting a land in that opening sequence that you sometimes see. I think this might be his last house. Let's see. No, one more. Okay. Put it into this one.
Look, those people are migrating. They want to live in our town. They're bringing all their worldly goods. Hooray!
Awesome.
Turn that settlement into a military outpost. Build armies there for defense against these people.
Alright, just finished off the building requirement for the
Hey,
creature.
He's getting pretty jumpy. Something big's gonna happen.
And that's why we need strong defenses.
That's why we need to get building armies too.
We've taken over the town.
This is not the way I normally play, with my buildings all close in like this. I want to see how little I can expand my influence ring and still win. I'll probably stop behaving that way.
This is an outrage. Take the nearest
Oh,
settlement.
check it out.
We must stop this Greek invasion.
The Norse up here are taking the settlement right next to their town with a squad of like 6 guys, so no, I don't really feel threatened, but we do have these migrants from the nearest town are coming towards us now. We're going to have to open our gate to let them in. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up since there aren't any reasons out there, any soldiers particularly, standing there waiting for us to open our gate and be vulnerable. Another requirement you can get some money is having the creature collect. Where is it? Creature collects 3,000 food. So you have him collect the food and put it in the storehouse. I believe he does this 500 at a time, or something about there. Perhaps less. But I'll pin him too. I'm gonna zoom in on him now. Let's see if I can't. There we go. Oh, you're sad. I'm sorry. Let's see.
The Greek town cannot be allowed to grow.
I'm going to scratch his belly so that he is encouraged to gather grain while he's sitting here in this mode. Oh, he's hungry, isn't he? Or maybe that bar being empty means he's not hungry. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to leave him tied to that field and tell him to be a gatherer for a little while. Meanwhile, more houses need to be constructed. And I think that there's a couple of...
Pitiful survivors of the Aztec attack will not last long here.